Hi, my name's Ana Samantha, and this is my autobiography for my final. So the author that I chose, his name is John Cheever. So the first question is, why did you choose this author? So I chose this author because out of all the poems and the short stories that we were assigned this year, the one that really caught my attention was Goodbye My Brother because of the way it was written with great detail and wording. So the author caught my attention and I wanted to know about the background of the author and know if any events of his life related or connected to the short story because of the great emotion and detail it had. So the author really made a connection to the reader, which was me, and I really came to believe that he had a realistic trauma event that related to the story. But after my research, it came to a conclusion that it was just a really well written story. So a brief autobiography about him. He was born in May 27, 1912 in Quincy, Massachusetts. He was an American short story writer and novelist. His main theme included the duality of human nature. He attended Quincy High in 1928, but a year prior he was expelled from a private institution. The first year he attended Quincy High, he won a short story contest, and that contest was sponsored by Boston Herald. So his grades maintained poor, and he was caught smoking. So due to that, he was expelled. In 1942, he enlisted in the army to train as an infantryman, but the army soon reassigned him to the Signal Corps as a script writer for training films, where he was teaching as well. Later in life, he started drinking very heavily, and on May 12, 1973, he woke up coughing uncontrollably and learned at the hospital that he had almost died from pulmonary edema caused by alcoholism. After a month at the hospital, he altered a promise and he was stating that he would never drink again, but later on in August when he got out, he started drinking again after a while while being home. And despite his condition, he still kept on teaching and drinking, and that caused his death later that year on June 18th, 1892. So an overview of his work. Many of his short stories won the 1979 Prize of Fiction and National Book Critics Circle Award, and its first paperback edition won a 1981 National Book Award. And on April 27, 1982, 6 weeks before his death, John was awarded the National Medal for Literature by the American Academy of Awards and Letters. His work has also been included in the Library of America. So what I found interesting about his life was that the author, the way he wrote his stories in detail with so much emotion and passion. And I also found it interesting how he was in the hospital for maybe a little over a month and still continued to teach and write and further an education to the children he was teaching. I also found it really interesting how he signed up to the army with a different purpose, to serve his country, and his talent was so big that he was realistic to do something else than what he originally was going to. So the importance of the author's work to his life and to the society. So the importance to his personal life was that his talent always allowed him to have a good job and receive money to support his family, and him not having to struggle since young. So him growing up, he did live wealthy, he did grow up in a large house, so his talent was very large that he never struggled to find a job or to find a paying job. So the importance of his work in society is he influenced many students through his teaching and writing to help them better themselves, and he's even influencing people and readers today, up to this day. He's teaching them his ways and about what a good short story writer, author is. So a brief overview of what my essay is going to include. I will be writing about John's early life and processes of how he got where he did and the difficulties he went through his life transition to the person he was. John did have many difficulties with the drinking and had many affairs with many women, and his marriage was complicated. There was also rumors about his sexuality, mentioning that he was bisexual or gay, and he had relationships with authors and students. And I will also be going into detail about his early life and his process of him changing schools and what he did in each of the schools and how teachers would recruit him because of his writing and how the problems he dealt with either did or didn't get in the way of his writing and of his career. So I will be going into detail about his early life, his middle life, his writing life, and about stuff that he encountered and rumors that were said about him and situations. So that is what my essay will contain of. So thank you.